In this video, we will be showing you how to replace your rear sway bar end link on your Audi Q5, located behind your rear shock absorber. Let's get started with the job. Safely raise and support the vehicle so that the wheel is off the ground. Now, starting with the hubcap, you will need a pick or a special Audi tool to be able to remove the hubcap from this center hole right here. Now we'll be using the 17mm socket to remove the wheel. Restarting the first bolt in a couple threads. Doing this will prevent the wheel from falling off. Support the bottom of the wheel. Use your socket to remove the last bolt. And remove the wheel. To access the sway bar link, we need to remove the shock absorber. To do that, we must take out the fender liner, which is held in place by a series of clips. On this style of Q5, we have many plastic clips that are holding the fender liner together. On this one, you will notice that you have a tab on the bottom. You also have two wings on the side. For this style of clip, it's almost as if it's a hook. You need to push up on the bottom and also pry it out at the same time to be able to lift it out of the notch. As you can see, you will see the notch that I was referring to in the small plastic tab at the bottom. Slide it over the groove, and that's what keeps it in place. Let's do the same with the other side. Let's remove the rest. We also have T25 screws that are holding down this fender liner as well. I will be using an extension to get them out. We have 6 more of these plastic clips hidden throughout our fender liner. Let's get started with this side. We have 2 more hidden plastic clips that are above the fender liner. You may need to stick your head inside to see the direction that the clip is pointing in. On this vehicle, I actually need to push the clips downwards to pop them off, unlike all the other ones where I had to push them upwards to take them off. Just pay close attention to that. They may fall off in the process. One fell off. Here's the second one. For our final clip, and now we have 4 T25 screws to take off. Now we're clear to remove the fender liner. Now we have our shock absorber completely exposed. Let's focus on loosening our bolts. For the top, we have 2 16mm bolts that we need to loosen. We'll keep them still threaded in because we're gonna move down to the bottom bolt and we're gonna loosen that one as well. And we need something to maintain the structure. Before we loosen our bottom bolt, I will be installing a pole jack underneath our coil spring. If you are doing this on the ground, you may use a jack as well. The reasoning for this is so that we can avoid any unexpected events, such as the coil spring popping out when we remove the strut. The bolt that is holding onto our lower shock absorber is a 21mm hex. Make sure you get it on there properly, and now we can break it free. Now that we've broken the bolt free, we can use an impact gun to take it off. Be sure to be aware if any other hardware has fallen in the process. On the inside of this strut, in between the knuckle, is a washer. That washer needs to be put there at the end of the installation. Moving back to the top of the vehicle, we can finish removing our strut. Remember, we have those two 16mm nuts that we already broke free by hand. I like to compress the strut to make it easier for me to get it up. Now that we have our strut assembly out of the way, we could focus on our sway bar end link. On this sway bar end link, you can see that there is a 16mm nut that is there to counterhold and torque down the bolt. The bottom bolt does not have a nut on the opposite side of it. To remove the top bolt and nut, I'm going to be fitting a wrench around the nut on the opposite side. Using my other 16mm, I'll be working out the bolt. You will need to be turning in the opposite direction with both wrenches. To finish backing it out, I'll be using a ratchet. Now we can go ahead and remove the bottom bolt. And as mentioned, there was no nut holding the opposite end. There it is. Now let's get ready to install our sway bar end link. Gonna want to guide it into the bottom one first. Start that stud by hand. We will not be tightening the bottom. Now we can get started on our upper bolt. We are going to fish it in right on the side of the bushing. Get it through the sway bar. And we're going to take our nut and start on the opposite side. To tighten my sway bar end link, I will be counter holding it on the opposite end just like I did to take it out. Now we can tighten down our bottom one. Now that we have our sway bar link tied down, we're going to use our torque wrench to get it down to 26 foot-pounds. Before torquing any of our suspension components, it is always required to have the vehicle at ride height. In this instance, we are using a pole jack. And now we can do the same thing for the top. After we've torqued each of them down, we need to give them an extra 90 degrees of rotation. I'll be using a crayon to mark the position that I'm in. And now we got the spot that we marked over 90 degrees. Do the same with the top. To get the strut in, we'll want to compress it and get the strut to be smaller so we can fit it in easier. Slide it into the hole on the bottom, right behind the knuckle. We can use the washer and bolt and guide it into position. The sizes for these two bolts that we replaced are 15 millimeters. Now we are back underneath the vehicle. As you can see, our strut is not perfectly aligned with our knuckle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lower our pole jack. It is safe to bring the spring down now. Let's not forget our washer that had fallen out from in between the knuckle and the strut. We will be putting it back in that same position and using our bolt to line them up. From this point, we could get it started by hand. We're gonna prevent it from being cross-threaded. With our strut in position, we can now tighten everything. We are going to reapply our pole jack. This will help us line up the top bolts, making sure we shift them into position so that we can tighten them down. The torque for the top two bolts is going to be 26 foot-pounds. And the torque for our bottom bolt is 148 foot-pounds. Remove the pole jack from underneath the vehicle. Now let's prepare for the reinstallation of our fender liner. Now when going back in with the fender liner, we want to align all of the studs with the holes provided on the fender liner. Now that we are all in place and we have our studs poking out, let's go reinstall those clips. Now let's not forget our orientation. When sliding over the stud, you will want to make sure that you allow it to enter through the groove. The side that the tab is on is the one that you're gonna want to angle it in with first. Here's this first one, for example, up close. The tab is on the bottom. We have found the groove. We pushed the groove past it and slid it down. Nice and simple. Now on this variant of the Q5, this fender liner has 9 of these clips. We're also gonna be reinstalling 6 of the T25 screws as well. Do the same with the other side. And now we have 2 more clips on the back side of the fender liner. Now we have our T25s that we can start on this side. Insert the T25s. Now let's install our wheel. Now I'll be using a 17mm socket to start the threads by hand. Doing this will prevent the wheel from falling off. Now start the rest. Now snug them down in a star form pattern. With the wheel safely on the ground, let's torque our lug bolts to 103 foot-pounds in a star form pattern. After we have torqued our lug bolts, we will be reinstalling our hubcap. The easiest way to do this is that you will be lining the hole so that it matches up with where the valve stem goes. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.